Hello, hello. Welcome to my December taxing subjects Zoom question and answer. Today we're going to talk about some year-end tax planning tips to get ready for tax time. But before we get started on that, I just wanted to introduce you to the newest and first member officially of my team here at Kessler Financial. Stephanie Reafsnyder joined me in September and has been helping me out behind the scenes for a few months. So you might interact with her a little bit this tax season if you have administrative questions or things that she can help you with so that I can focus more time on preparing tax returns. I'm really excited to have her as part of my team. She's been a tax client of mine for a long time. She's also a small business owner herself and just fits right into the culture here at Kessler Financial. So thank you for being with me here today, Stephanie, and thanks for all your help lately.
Thank you, Shay. It's been really fun to work for you.
Good. I'm glad. Well, yeah, like I mentioned, we're going to talk about just some things you can do right now to be getting ready for the end of the year. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat or just unmute yourself and speak up. This is a interactive session that I like to offer for people just as an opportunity to come and learn a little bit and get your questions answered. So we're going to start with businesses. So if you have an entity that files its own tax return as opposed to a small business that still reports on a Schedule C on your personal tax return, first of all, I want to remind you that those entity tax returns are due March 15th, not April 15th, like individuals. C corporations are due April 15th and individual tax returns, but partnerships and S corporations are due on March 15th. And the main reason for that is because those returns generate what's called a K-1 form, and that's what you need in order to prepare your personal tax return. So they want those done a month in advance in time to get those out to the owners and shareholders in time for you to do your personal tax return. But if you are an owner of one of these type of entities, you'll want to make sure you get that done by the deadline. You can file a 6-month extension for those returns as well. So that would give you until September 15th. But if you're a client of mine and you have an entity, I need your information as soon as possible. If you're a brand new client, I would like it by February 15th. If you're a returning client, you can have until the end of February, but I do need a good 2 weeks to make sure that I can get that return prepared accurately. Some other things you can be doing right now is just making sure that your books are up to date, reconciled, everything's in there in the right place. If you're a new client of mine, you've probably received this in an email recently, but you do want to have your bookkeeper make sure that your balance sheet from your 2023 tax return matches the balance sheet in your software. If those items don't match up, it's really hard for me to prepare the next year's tax return. So that can help save some time when things get busy. If you're an S corporation, you're supposed to be paying yourself reasonable compensation. So if you haven't paid yourself on payroll all year, you might want to run one last year-end payroll for yourself. And if you have anything that's uncategorized in your books, one thing that I see a lot of times is a ask my accountant category that will have an amount in there. There's no place on the tax returns for ask my accountant. You're actually supposed to ask and categorize things where they go. So that would be a good thing to be doing right now, as opposed to February or March. And then if you have extra money and you're looking to reduce how much you're going to owe in taxes, you could think about buying a new piece of equipment or stocking up on supplies. So moving on to individuals, there's a couple things that absolutely have to be done by the end of the year or they don't count. So one of those things is your charitable contributions need to be made by the end of the year. So if you're going to give to your church or Goodwill, make sure you get those donations in. You just need to write the check by the end of the year and mail it. It doesn't actually have to have cleared your account yet, but you do need to actually physically do something that initiates the giving. Flexible spending accounts through your work, if you have medical flexible spending accounts, they do have a little bit of a grace period now, I think. I'm not sure if it's all plans, but most of them, I think, give you a month carryover into January. But if you can use up the funds by the end of the year, that's better, so you don't lose it and you can stock up on things like contact lenses. You can start organizing your documents and records. And now is also a good time to think about updating your W-4 withholding through your job. So if things have changed throughout the year and you want to kind of get a fresh start and get things back on track, now might be a good time to look at that. Other things that can be beneficial for your tax return are contributions to your retirement accounts, especially the pre-tax ones. I mean, saving for retirement is great no matter what, but the Roth retirement accounts don't affect your tax return, just the traditional ones. And then contributions to 529 college savings accounts. But the good news about those is that you do have until April 15th to make those contributions. You just need to make sure that you specify the prior tax year, because if you go to put money in your IRA in April, it might default to the 2025 tax year at the time when really you'd want to apply it to 2024. So just be aware of that, but that can be a great opportunity even after the fact. So a lot of times when I'm preparing people's tax returns and they are looking to lower what they owe, we can see what it would look like to put $7,000 into their IRA and what that does to the bottom line. And if it makes sense to do that, then they are able to do that even though the year has officially closed. And I don't see any questions in the chat. But I am available for consultations. I have a few spots open still, I think, on my calendar. If you go to my website under scheduling, if you need an advisory session or you have questions that you need to have answered before the end of the year, I have a little bit of availability for that. Otherwise, as a client of mine, what you can expect is an email from me in early January that will come directly from my secure portal link, and it will prompt you to log in and answer my questionnaire and sign the engagement letter that you do want us to prepare your tax return this year. And then there'll be a space to upload your documents. You can take as little or as much time as you want doing that. And as soon as you feel like everything's complete, you'll check a little box and that will alert us to get started on your tax return. I'll reach out if there's any questions while I'm preparing the return. I do try to keep a 2-week turnaround time. That is one thing that's important to me. I won't ever put you on extension unless you ask to be on extension. And once the return is finished, I will send you a summary email and a copy that you can review in the secure portal. If you have any questions, reach out to me and we can take time to talk it over on the phone or schedule a quick Zoom. Then you'll sign via DocuSign. We will electronically file it for you. And one thing that I'm excited about that's going to be new to my process this year is that Stephanie's going to help me with sending out acknowledgements. So you will get an email confirmation this year that your returns have been accepted. That's great to have for your records. Sometimes people do come back and ask afterwards. But I do get a lot of questions like, is everything good? I haven't heard from you, or things are fine. And my policy has been in the past, if you don't hear from me, things are fine. You're only going to hear from me if it doesn't go through for some reason and we need to make a correction. But I know that it can just add a little extra level of comfort and security, knowing that everything is taken care of and there's nothing else left for you to do except possibly go online and pay, because I can't do that part for you. I do, however, in my software, I am able to auto debit your bank account. And that is something that I haven't offered in the past, but I'm considering offering it this year if it would be convenient to you. I just hesitate. I know people don't like the IRS to have their account information and just be able to pull money out whenever they want, but it seems that that's the way the world's going. Everything's electronic. I don't think that there's anything to be scared of there. So it could just save you the extra time of having to log in to your IRS portal and make that payment yourself. Oh, we do have a question in the chat here.
Yeah.
Oh, just want to schedule a consultation. Okay. Well, yes, you can check out the website. Thanks. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And as usual, I'm available if you have any questions. And I'm excited for another tax season of helping you save money. And I know it's going to go extra smooth this year because I have help. So thank you so much, Stephanie, for joining me today and joining me for tax season. And we will see you all soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Shay.